Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Jam. We're in our third part of the three-part series, The Gift and the Curse. We started out with the internet. That was series 1. Series 2 was cell phones. And now we're here at series 3, which is the topic that everybody loves, social media, the gift and the curse. Thanks for tuning in to Jam the Podcast. I'm your host, Jarvis Johnson, and today we'll be talking about one of the most defining forces of modern society, social media. It's been described as a gift and a curse, everything in between. But what if it's both? Let's explore how social media can be a powerful tool and a double-edged sword, and how we navigate its highs and lows every single day. Now, when I say social media, I'm talking about platforms like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and even newer spaces like Threads. These platforms connect billions of people around the world. They are amazing tools, right? But it is all sunshine and rainbows, or is there a darker side lurking behind those perfect selfies and trending hashtags? Let's break each one of them down. The gift. Let's start with the good stuff. Social media has truly changed the game in ways that are hard to ignore. First off, it brings people together. I think that was everybody's plan when these were first created. It brings everyone together in ways that was unthinkable. Think about it. We can connect with family, friends from all around the globe, from different cities, states, so on and so forth, right? And you can do it in an instant. You can be updated on lives of loved ones, and the barriers of distance don't even matter anymore. They've disappeared. That's the power of connection. Beyond personal relationships, social media has empowered communities. People who share the same interests can now find other people just like them. And more importantly, they can create movements. We've seen social media be the birthplace of different activism, whether it's raising awareness of mental health, social justice. All these different movements have all been brought together by social media. Environmental causes like climate change. In many cases, social media has amplified voices that have been silenced or overlooked by traditional media outlets. It's given information that people wouldn't believe, and sometimes even misinformation, if we're just being honest, right? Now let's talk about the opportunities. Social media has become an absolute game changer for businesses, artists, and creators. If you are an entrepreneur, you no longer need to rely solely on the traditional advertising methods. Social media has provided a space to market directly to your audience without needing a huge budget. TikTok, for instance, has turned regular people into household names, propelling them to stardom pretty much overnight. If you're an artist, Instagram can help you showcase your work to a global audience, giving you the exposure you may have never had otherwise. Social media levels the playing field. You don't have to have a lot of money to do what you want to do. It has truly opened doors. And finally, there's a sense of belonging. Social media platforms can be a refuge for those who might feel isolated in the physical world. Whether you're struggling with mental health, navigating through a tough time in your life, or just looking for like-minded people, social media can provide a community in this way, and that is truly a gift. With all those good things, obviously there's some bad that come with it. So let's talk about the curse of social media. Now that we've praised all the amazing ways that social media impacts our lives, let's talk about the dark side. And believe me, it's there. One of the biggest issues we face with social media is how it manipulates our emotions. You ever find yourself scrolling through Instagram, let's say, and suddenly you feel like your life isn't good enough? Maybe you're comparing your vacation spots to someone else's perfect beach getaway. Or you see someone posting their dream job and you start doubting your own career choices. That's not an accident. It's by design. Social media thrives off of, engagement, and the algorithm is built to keep you hooked. It feeds you content that generates emotional reactions. And for most of us, these emotions are negative. The constant comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, depression, and anxiety, especially for young users. And let's be honest, it's hard to escape. The pressure to live to the hype of highly, edited versions of life can weigh heavily on a person's mental health. And then there's the issue of misinformation. With billions of posting being shared every day, it's becoming harder to differentiate between what's true and what's not. Fake news, conspiracy theories, and misleading information spread faster and faster than ever before because of social media. We've seen how social media has played a role in, the political race and public health concerns and even violence. I was just talking with some kids the other day. They were watching fight videos, and then it just keeps on popping up on their feed, and they're just really buying into it. And they were saying that they were watching it just in case they had to be ready to fight. In many cases, the line between truth and falsehood have been blurred. It's not easy to figure out who's telling the real story. On top of that, there's privacy. We've all heard the horror stories of the data breaches, companies selling our personal information, and the general lack of accountability when it comes to how our data is used. The truth is, you are actually a product that's being sold by these social media companies. Where does that leave us? Like I've said, social media can be a gift, a powerful tool for connection, expression, and opportunity, but it also carries the curse, the dark side, a place where comparison, misinformation, and privacy invasion can thrive. The key is balance. First, we need to be mindful of how we use social media. Take time to curate your feed. Follow accounts that make you feel empowered, inspired, and informed. Take breaks when it feels like you're being overwhelmed. You need to take a break. Unfollow accounts that bring you down. Take control of your digital space. It is in your control. And trust me, your mental health, it will thank you for doing that. Second, question what you see. Just because it's trending or going viral doesn't mean it's true. In a world where facts often twisted, it's important to stay critical of the information you consume. Educate yourself and don't accept what your algorithm gives you. And last but not least, protect your privacy. Be mindful of what you share online. Don't give all your information. Don't show where you are all the time. If it doesn't add value to your life, don't post it. And don't let others pressure you into doing so either. Your digital footprint is yours to manage. Your social media platforms is yours. Don't let anybody encourage you to do anything different, especially our young people out there. They are the children are our future. You hear that a lot. So be careful on what they are watching on social media because they get a lot of the stuff and the brain, believe it or not, their brains are still developing. So you want to be careful what your kids are watching on social media. That's important. And that goes for adults too, but mainly the kids. I see them all the time on different social media platforms. And let's talk about, cyberbullying is a big deal. And a lot of that happens through social media. So you have to be careful, all right? Because you have these different influencers. Influencers, they portray a huge part in what our kids see. So you have to make sure that they're following or they're looking at the right influencers, because they're still impressionable, especially the teenagers. They try to emulate the behaviors. There was a trend on TikTok where the kids were going around, tearing up schools and carrying stuff around, and kids were actually following that. So it's important that, we pay attention to the influence of the influencers. At the end of the day, social media is both a gift and a curse. Let's just be real. It has the power to connect us. It has the power to amplify our voices and create opportunities like never before. but it can also be the breeding ground for negativity, misinformation, and unhealthy comparisons. The challenge is in how we choose to engage in social media. So let's be intentional, let's be mindful, and let's make sure we're using these platforms to enrich our lives rather than detract from them. That's the end I have of this episode, and this is the end of our 3-part series, The Gift and the Curse. If you hadn't listened to the first 2, this was part 3. If you hadn't listened to part 1 and 2, I encourage you to go back, because each of these things, the internet, cell phones, and social media, now where we are, they kind of all go together. So they all need to be used wisely. And if not, you may be jammed. Thanks for listening.